Hello everyone, welcome to the Geekdom, the place where we outcasts come to talk about the things we love, and today, we're back on Doctor Who. Now, in the past couple of months, my other Doctor Who videos have done brilliantly, and I wanted to make another one to celebrate the first season of Ncuti Gatwa's Doctor Who. Now, it's had its ups and downs, it's been a overall okay season, with some really great episodes jammed in there and some really awesome outfits. So today I've got two minifigures for you. I've got Ncuti Gatwa's 15th Doctor and Ruby Sunday. Now, we're going to take a look at the 15th Doctor first. He is in his appearance from when he sees Ruby in the bar on the Church of Ruby Road, as well as his appearance in Dot and Bubble. It's my personal favourite outfit that he's worn so far. There has been so many for both of these characters across this season, so I've just picked my favourites so far. Now, this outfit itself, it's very, very complicated in the fact that it's all this sort of flannel texture. There's a lot of like crossover bits of all this costume and stuff, so it's all very complicated, but we'll get that in a minute. Starting from top, he's got the sort of fin hairpiece that I've used for my last Ncuti Gatwa, and funnily enough the same exact face print as well, because I just thought it worked really well. If you haven't seen my last video, this face print is essentially Winston from Ghostbusters, with a lot of the wrinkles removed and stuff, because I just think that the mustache was bang on for the 15th Doctor, so I've kept that there. The torso design is well, it was a pain, put it that way. It was a nightmare. Underneath this big jacket, he's got this sort of orange crop top. I wasn't sure how much detail to put on this, because I had a look at some of the images. There's barely any wrinkles in any of the images and stuff. It's all quite tight to his body. So I've put a couple of creases in there, but it is just kind of like that block orange. He's got those two necklaces. I still have not been able to find a good enough close-up to see what they actually are. So for now, I've just done these like gold chain things. I think it gets the idea across. I think it looks really cool still. But yeah, if anyone actually knows what those necklaces are, please do tell me, because I'd really like to know for future. Okay, now the jacket itself. I think we should just take a look at the arms and torso as a whole, because it's kind of just a continuation. Now, the actual open lapel bits are different to the rest, because as I was having a look at some costume images and stuff, and all the fabrics used and stuff, the interior of the actual jacket is a different sort of flannel pattern and plaid pattern to what the rest of the jacket is. So it's got like a lighter brown, as well as it's a more fine crosshatch, like it's a lot smaller, all of the different gaps in between them and stuff. I'm not sure how well that carries off on here. I can certainly notice it, but that's just because I've obsessed over these outfits for the past 2 weeks. So obviously I can see, but I hope it's carried off well enough. The actual outer layer of the jacket is once again that plaid pattern, but a little bit less fine as it is on the lapels. It's really this nice hatched pattern. There's a lot of that in this season. He wears a kill in Church of Ruby Road. The Ruby minifigure that I'm going to show you shortly is also wearing a plaid skirt. I like it. I think it very much matches like Ncuti's vibe. Every Doctor has an outfit vibe. Matt Smith, the bow tie just worked, you know, and I think this sort of like almost kind of dapper plaid look looks really, really good for Ncuti. The arms are just that pattern. They are just the continuation of that pattern, and they do have some little buttons on their wrists, just like a cufflinks sort of thing. And he obviously just has his hands in brown. His legs and hips are just a continuation of that jacket as well. Obviously, we've got those buttons on his right-hand side. They're in this really sort of like nice pale tan colour. It looks really cool. And then obviously his trousers are a smaller, but not as small version as the inside of the lapels as his... brain fart. It's like a more compressed version of the outside of his jacket. Yes, it is not as fine as the inside of his jacket, but it is finer than the rest of the outside of the jacket. Words. Nailed it. There's a small amount of detail on his hip as well, just like where his like fly is, where you like button up the trousers and stuff. And he is wearing brown shoes, which as I'm looking at the render right now, you can barely see, but he's wearing brown shoes, and it has like black soles right on the bottom as well, just like we got in, I believe, the casual Harry minifigure from the Harry Potter minifigure series, where he's got the grey sweatshirt on and the red t-shirt. You know the figure I mean. You know the figure I mean. He's got obviously like a soul section on his shoes. Completely irrelevant piece of information, but I thought I'd tell you anyway. We're gonna move on to who I think could possibly have a future as one of my favourite companions. Like, I'm excited to see a lot more of her, definitely. Ruby Sunday. First of all, Millie Gibson, you are the love of my life. I love you dearly. That's all I wanted to say. I've got a poster of you and Chuty on my wall. Hit me up. I really like this minifigure. I love her design. This is from her appearance in the very first episode of The Church of Ruby Road. And I think it's just her best look. I do like her in like the denim and stuff, but this is now like iconic for me. It's the iconic Ruby Sunday look. So we're gonna start top to bottom as per usual. She has got a brand new hairpiece. Woo! Because none of the hairpieces I used I liked at all, so I just molded a new one. It's kind of like the short hair like she has in the show, and she's got that parting right down the centre. As I do with a lot of my female minifigures who are more like this gentle, sort of kind personality, I've used the Princess Leia face, but Ruby Sunday has this sort of like notch in her eyebrow, so I gave her that as well. So that does differentiate it slightly, but it is pretty much just the Princess Leia face. Now the torso, I'm very, very proud of. It was a combination of a bunch of different things. Obviously underneath you've got that sort of red sweatshirt. I know it may not be flawlessly accurate to the design of her red sweatshirt in the show, but I thought it got that sort of like woolen knitted jumper sort of look across. I thought it did pretty well there. And she's got like some little chains as well, just like Chuty does. But her jacket was the thing I was super proud of. So obviously you can see that she's got those sort of like woolly bits going around her neck and around the bottom, but as I was looking through pictures and a bunch of different set images and stuff, I found that the left hand side of the jacket actually has the fur on the outside of the lapel, but the right hand side doesn't. It just has a bit peeking through. So I've tried to encapsulate that as best as I can here. So as you can see on the right hand side there's a lot less fur because it's just kind of peeking through from the inside of the jacket, which I think looks really, really cool. All the wrinkles and stuff are detailed in like a nice dark blue. I always think that works really well. Now, I think there's a bit of a debate on to whether the jacket is like a really, really dark blue or it's black. I've gone for black just because I'm working with Lego's colour palette. So if you're going to be in the comments like,
Freddy, it's inaccurate, how dare you?
I'm working with the Lego colour palette, let me off, leave me alone. The arms themselves, very similar. All black, except they've got those fur bits around the wrists, which I think looks really nice. And she's wearing, I'm going to call it a plaid skirt. It's like a kilt. It's like a kilt. I found like a kilt on a minifigure and stuff, and I was like, I've got to work with this. I think it looks really great. She obviously has that overlap as well, as you can see on her left leg there. There's an overlap of the fabrics where the skirt kind of crosses over, which I think looks really cool. It is in a dark blue, red and green. I know on the renders it looks pretty much black. It's in a very dark blue. It's just to do with the lighting and stuff. It just comes across as black a little bit. She's wearing tights as well. I didn't really know what to do for that, so I've gone for like a dark tan because I think it just kind of looks like fabric over her skin. I think that's come across really well. I like the way the colours work there. And she's wearing black boots as well. That's it for these two figures. I've really enjoyed the first season of Doctor Who. I would love to hear what you think down below. As per usual, we've got a render for you here on screen. Woohoo! It's them in the TARDIS. If you're thinking, whoa, that's a cool TARDIS set, go watch my video on it. I will link it in the description below. You can go give that a watch because it's one of my favourite videos I've ever done, and it's a really cool TARDIS. But as you can see, this is the two of them in the 50th Doctor's TARDIS. We've got all the orange lights and the purple stuff going on. It looks great. Such an amazing TARDIS. Such an amazing duo. Love them so much. Well, anyway, everyone, thank you very much for watching. I do hope you have enjoyed. If you have, feel free to like and subscribe down below. It does go a long way. We're on our way to 1,000 subscribers, so it would be just brilliant if you could click that subscribe button down below. Anyway, everyone, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Well, anyway, oh my god, Ralph, you're gonna have to get used to this, right? I screw up that every single video.